What's up YouTube, this is Mathers97 and welcome to another episode of WWE 2K15 Universe Mode. This is the 5th edition of the series and here we are with Monday Night Raw. So let's go ahead and take a look at the match card here. We have the tag team of Alberto Del Rio and Curtis Axel taking on the team of Cesaro and RVD. And I have indeed made these tag teams official here. I don't have names for them quite yet, so I'd like you down in the comment section below if you've got any name suggestions for the teams of Cesaro, RVD, Del Rio and Curtis Axel, and of course the tag team of Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel, which were of course, Cesaro and RVD and Del Rio and Axel. I kind of formed together throughout the course of Universe Mode, whereas, Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd were a former tag team in the real WWE. So if you have any names for those tag teams, please let me know down in the comment section below. Right now I don't have any names for them yet, but in case you're wondering what the heck happened with Justin Gabriel, I thought he was injured. Well, since I had to reset my Universe Mode a couple of days ago, I believe it would have been after the last recording, would have been after episode 4, when everything kind of, I was recording episode 5, and then my recording just glitched up and whatnot. So I'm sorry I'm not talking about the match card in the background, but there you can see what all the matches are. But yeah, basically my recording glitched up, and I was unable to bring the file into Sony Vegas to edit it. So you can see Zack Ryder defeats R-Truth. The Miz, yet again, defeats Big E. So it looks like Del Rio and Curtis Axel get the win over Cesaro and RVD. So we're going to go ahead and do the match, and as you can see, Bray Wyatt is now Mr. Money in the Bank, apparently. I think it was Cena the last time, or something like that. But I'll probably have to set up like a false show at some point where I can, get rid of that Money in the Bank contract thing. Or maybe I'll just let it go. I'll just keep ignoring it. Not sure how I'm going to do with that yet. But what I was saying was that my recording glitched up. I couldn't bring the file into Sony Vegas to even edit it. So I basically just deleted the file. And because it's so early in the series, it's only episode 5. I just went ahead and reset the Universe Mode series and, kind of reenacted everything that I had already recorded, and I just played it out to get back to this point. And this time around, Justin Gabriel didn't get himself injured, and no one was injured. Everyone was healthy. No one got storyline injured or anything, so I'm able to have access to the full roster now this time. So that should make things a little bit better, because Justin Gabriel, it was unlike with R-Truth, where it was really cool that he actually got injured in Universe Mode because I had him storyline injured, whereas Justin Gabriel, he just would have kind of disappeared for really no reason. So it's a good thing. Maybe it's just a blessing in disguise that I had to reset my Universe Mode, because now we got Justin Gabriel back, and that's just one more tag team thrown in the mix of what has relatively, I think up to this point, been a pretty lackluster tag team division. I just haven't put forth the greatest of efforts in terms of the tag team division. And I think part of that is because the tag team mechanics haven't always been that great. But hopefully, I don't know. I don't think things have really improved this year in this year's game. I don't think the tag team mechanics have been improved whatsoever. In fact, I think they may have even gotten a little bit worse. But that's just from my experiences so far. The next episode, you'll get to kind of witness firsthand why you never simulate a tag team match. Yeah. Even, I did edit it down a lot. Like, I cut probably like 15, maybe even 20 minutes out of the tag team match in the next episode. But you'll understand immediately, like, once the match gets going, maybe not immediately, but you'll understand why you don't simulate a tag, well, not simulate it, but why you don't, like, let the computer play it out, because, no, it doesn't end, it never ends. It's ridiculous. But, okay, rant over. Let's focus in back on the matchup here at hand, as we've got Jack Swagger going one-on-one with 1/3 of the New Day faction, Kofi Kingston. And I just saw these folks, the New Day, debut on Monday Night Raw, and I gotta say, the potential of this group. What happened? I don't even know what they did. I don't even know what they did with this New Day faction anymore. Man, when they were gonna debut like months ago as a faction, and they were like a heel team, and they were like super aggressive, and they were more realistic, and now they're just this cartoony crap, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But don't worry, I'm not going to portray that side of the New Day faction here in Universe Mode. And that rant is now also over. But look at that, Jack Swagger chop block to the knee to Kofi Kingston. And Swagger's going to go into the cover. 1, 2, 3, and that's it. You know what? I think when he hit that chop block, I'm gonna have to need to take a look at that instant replay once again. But I think the back of Kofi's head may have bounced off the mat, and that may have just knocked him completely unconscious. Let's take a look here. Oh, yep, right there. The back of Kofi's head just ricocheted off the mat there, and I think that knocked him out cold. So Jack Swagger, I mean, just the devastating whiplash of that move takes out Kofi Kingston here tonight. And Jack Swagger, he's heading into a triple threat United States Championship title defense at the Royal Rumble. So Swagger, he needed a performance like this. He really needed to show his stuff here tonight, and you know, taking down Big E's new tag team partner, Kofi Kingston. And also, I just kind of wanted to show you there, you know, in the previous year's games, if you would hit X or A, I guess you play on the Xbox, and to bring up that little menu thing, the animation, like the video would stop. But this year, it kind of continues going. It doesn't just, you know, immediately stop on whatever frame it was on. It actually finishes out the animation, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Not to say it improves Universe Mode whatsoever, but I just thought it was kind of cool to point that out. It's like a nice visual touch. But here we go. Daniel Bryan heading down to the ring. He's prepared. He's ready for his debut match here on 2K15. And he's got one hell of an opponent here tonight, as Daniel Bryan goes one-on-one with the architect of the Shield, Seth Rollins. Because, I mean, Daniel Bryan, he's got quite the history with the Shield in the past. If you trace it back to WWE 13 Universe Mode, back at the Vengeance pay-per-view, it was CM Punk and Daniel Bryan teaming up to take on the Shield, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, in an Extreme Rules matchup, which was won by the Shield. Then we take it back to SummerSlam in WWE 2K14, when it was Daniel Bryan and the Brothers of Destruction, or you could say The Undertaker and Team Hell No, whichever you prefer, taking on the Shield in a 6-man tag team matchup. And once again, the Shield were victorious. And I mean, man, the Shield as a unit, how strong have they been throughout Universe Mode? I do apologize if I sound like my nose is kind of, you know, weird, because it's just the winter time, and it's like sleeting and raining outside, and it's not pretty, but you just know what happens when the weather gets cold, and, you know, changes seasons, allergies and colds and the flu and whatnot just comes about. It's not the flu, but it's just like, you know, kind of like a nose cold sort of thing. So I do apologize about that. I don't consider it being sick, because it's not. Like, when I consider someone being sick, you're like, you know when you're sick. But I'm not sick. It's just like a nose cold happens. You know, that's enough about that. But in terms of the Shield, this doesn't transition whatsoever. I just rambled for whatever reason. But yeah, with the Shield, how that goes is, you know, we take it back to SummerSlam. Like I said, that matchup that went down following SummerSlam, you know, at Night of Champions, they had an opportunity at the King of the Ring tournament. I believe, which member of the Shield was it? Was Rollins competed in a matchup at the King of the Ring tournament, but he lost to Cesaro, if I recall correctly. And then, you know, that just kind of showed they tried to go out on their sort of singles endeavors. Didn't exactly work out in terms of the King of the Ring tournament. But then we take you up to Survivor Series, when there was the 6-man tag against Team Icons, which was Hulk Hogan, The Rock, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now that was one heck of a matchup for the Shield. A match that they won, defeating all 3 Icons. That was a big sort of proving ground moment for the Shield, and that just kind of shows the legendary performance of this faction. And if that has any implication whatsoever towards the future and their individual careers. I mean, these three, they're going to be here to stay for a long time in the main event picture. But then, of course, TLC, they defeated Triple H and Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, of course. You know, kind of, whether you want to call it the Clique, if you want to call it Triple H and the Outsiders, the Authority, just, you know, just bringing in 2 new members. Whatever the case may be, the Shield dominated that matchup. Not only that, but Kevin Nash and Scott Hall both suffered torn quads in that matchup, and we're not going to be seeing any of them anytime soon. So that just kind of shows, you know, the power of the Shield and what they've done to factions, to superstars, to icons, to legends in this business. But Daniel Bryan, of course, you know, he's been on his righteous path, and, you know, as of about No Way Out, things kind of started to turn around a bit for him. You know, his fortunes kind of went into a more positive sort of standpoint. He started picking up victories that he hadn't been getting for a long time. Because, you know, for a while there, he was kind of being held back by the Authority. He was getting into clashes with the Shield. Of course, clashes he was unsuccessful in winning those matchups. But then around No Way Out, he got the win over Chris Jericho. He then defeated Curtis Axel in the pre-show of Survivor Series. And then, of course, at the TLC pay-per-view a week ago, Daniel Bryan defeated Batista. So, I mean, that was a big victory for Daniel Bryan. But now Daniel Bryan, he's looking forward to, man, I don't even know how to describe this, but he can only be described as the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. Okay, that was a bad impersonation. I went into a Vince McMahon thing, even though I was trying to be Paul Heyman. Never mind. I don't even know what I'm doing. This commentary is just turning into spewing of nonsense. I apologize. But then again, if you're going to be around here as a kind of a longtime fan on this channel, I'll kind of ramble. On occasion, I do dabble in the fine art of rambling, as I am right now. But back to the matchup at hand. Seth Rollins trying to make it back to his feet and just gets dropped right back to a knee. And Daniel Bryan firing away with the kicks here. And Daniel Bryan just relentless here with these kicks to the chest. And oh, one right to the head. Big shot there, taking out Seth Rollins. And Daniel Bryan, he could be moments away. Seth Rollins is out of it right now. He can't even make it back to his feet. He's just trying to stand up, using the ropes to pull himself up here. Daniel Bryan, look at this. Northern Light suplex, cover. No, not even a 2 count. Seth Rollins kicks out. Daniel Bryan now. What's he going for here? He's got Seth Rollins back on his heels. Nice leg sweep. Side Russian leg sweep, taking down Seth Rollins. And Daniel Bryan now, he's got Rollins for a hat suplex now. Nice move from Bryan. And Daniel Bryan could be looking to put Seth Rollins away here. He's looking to fire up the crowd here. The yes movement in full effect. Daniel Bryan hits the running high knee, and that could be it. 1, 2, 3. Lights out for Seth Rollins. Daniel Bryan is your winner here tonight. And that is just one more demon that Daniel Bryan has been able to, silence here. He gets a victory over a member of the Shield, a faction that has kind of plagued him in the past. Daniel Bryan, his career just completely, took a 180 in recent times. I mean, he's just really turned himself around. Seth Rollins, of course, denying the handshake. Nothing I can really do about that cutscene. I mean, Daniel Bryan, you gotta admit, he's a tremendous superstar. He has respect for his competitors. But, the Shield, they're not somebody you can try to reason with. I mean, Daniel Bryan, he was trying to be a good sport, trying to show some respect to Seth Rollins. Because, those two have history with each other. But Seth Rollins denies the handshake, and that's just kind of the point where the Shield is at right now. They're, as a group, as a unit, they're untouchable. But right now, they're just kind of in that state where they need to, kind of try to define themselves a little bit more as single stars. Because that's kind of where their weak points are, is when, as a group, they're untouchable. But as single superstars, not so much. And of course, that's got to be in part to Triple H. Triple H you got to think he's got a hand in booking these matches with the Shield. I mean, right now, getting put in a match against Daniel Bryan, that's definitely one formidable opponent. Whereas, you know, the Shield in the past has been competing in more group-style matches. But ever since TLC, you know, that matchup right there, Triple H looking to try to divide the Shield and try to, you know, exploit their weaknesses. Because, you know, Triple H, he never loses. He never loses a fight, or he never loses a war. He may lose a fight, but he doesn't lose the war. And that, you know, he may have lost the battle at TLC, but he has not. He is far from losing the war here against the Shield. And I think there's more yet to come in the rivalry between Triple H, the Authority, and the Shield right now. But of course, heading into the Royal Rumble, I mean, the Shield, they've got a huge opportunity to define themselves as a single superstar. If they could win, they could work together and manage to win the Royal Rumble. Whether it's any member of the Shield, they've got a huge opportunity because one of them could main event WrestleMania and compete for the WWE or World Heavyweight Championships. That's a huge opportunity. An opportunity that I'm sure, I mean, let's be honest here, Triple H is not going to let the Shield get that opportunity so easily. He's not going to go down without a fight. So I am very interested as to what Triple H is going to have in store for the Shield this coming month leading into the Royal Rumble. And, you know, not just the Royal Rumble, because I'm sure it's not going to end there. I mean, I'm kind of getting off topic here. Let's focus more in on this matchup here between CM Punk and Batista. And, you know, CM Punk, he's at a kind of a crossroads of his career as well. I mean, you know, right now, he's kind of at a point where he has been starting to pick up some victories again, but he wouldn't exactly, I wouldn't exactly call him #1 contender for the WWE Championship material just yet. I think he's managed to get himself back up into the ranks. I think he's got to be, you know, probably in the solid top 10, maybe in the top 5, depending on how you look at things. But CM Punk, you know, he was doing pretty poorly for a while, you know, to be nice about it. He was doing pretty poorly in terms of, you know, his matches. He was losing there for a while, and, you know, for a time he wasn't even getting booked. But for now, Punk seems to have turned things around a little bit, and now he's got a huge opportunity to take on and possibly take out the #1 contender for the WWE Championship. That is Batista. And Punk, if he can get a victory here over Batista, I mean, imagine what a victory like that would do for the career of CM Punk. He would just set himself up potentially for a future WWE Championship opportunity, maybe even so soon as the Elimination Chamber, because Batista right now, he's the top dog behind John Cena in terms of championship status, because he's right there. He's #2 behind #1, that is the champion. Whereas Punk, if he can beat the #2 guy, he's definitely the solid #3. And if he can, and yeah, you know, to put it in simple terms, because I'm kind of confusing myself here. If Punk beats Batista tonight, you gotta say Punk is a shoo-in for that Elimination Chamber match for the WWE title. Look at that drop kick to the outside. My goodness, CM Punk just putting it all on the line here, because that just shows the importance of this matchup. This is a very important match for CM Punk. He's got to pull out all the stops if he wants to have any hope of beating Batista here tonight. Batista, side Russian leg sweep counter there. And now Batista going to turn this into a bit more of a brawling matchup as he delivers some nice punches right to the face of CM Punk. Batista now back into the ring in a 5 count. 6 count now is CM Punk. He's going to get himself back in the ring. Look at this springboard elbow. Taking Batista down. Almost more like a clothesline even. And now CM Punk, he's going to take Batista down here with a Northern Lights suplex. 1, 2, not even a 2. Batista powers out at 1.5. And now CM Punk sends Batista into the corner, and big running high knee there from CM Punk, and clothesline. Nice combination there from Punk. And CM Punk now, he's measuring for it. Think he could be looking for the go to sleep here. He's looking to put Batista away here. CM Punk, he's got the animal up on his shoulders, and knee right to the face. Go to sleep from CM Punk. There's a cover. 1 count. Oh, but a rope break. Batista's hand was right under the ropes. CM Punk didn't catch it. And now look at this. Hurricanrana off the second rope. And CM Punk now, he's hit his best shot. But Batista, I mean, I still think Batista would have kicked out of that finisher. Although it is questionable because, I mean, you know, his hand was under the ropes, so we'll never know if that would have won the matchup decisively for CM Punk or not. But Punk counters the spine buster. DDT there to Batista. Batista took a bad spill off that move. His feet got all caught up in the ropes. And Punk now, if he could just hit a second go to sleep. Oh! Look at that move from Punk. Slap right to the face of Batista. Look at the disrespect from Punk there. And now Punk, he's looking to put Batista away here. This time for good. Second GTS there. Knee to the face. Busted Batista open. 2 counts. That's ball game, folks. CM Punk defeats Batista here tonight. And man, what a victory that is for the career of CM Punk. I have to say, his road to redemption, I think this victory puts him right at the... He's right, you know, he's not quite at the peak of greatness. You know, I don't even know. Let me rephrase that. He's, like I said earlier, he's got to be the number 2 contender right behind Batista. And in terms of an elimination chamber, in terms of qualifying for that matchup, you're basically a shoo-in. I think CM Punk, without a doubt, is going to be in that elimination chamber matchup. I mean, at least if he can keep this up, even if he loses several matches after this point, a victory over Batista right now is, you know, that's a great achievement. As Batista showing some respect to CM Punk. I mean, Batista, I mean, you gotta be fair. CM Punk, that was a hard-fought victory. And Batista, yeah, WWE.com, I think you're taking it a little bit too far. I don't think he's quite embraced the fans. But, you know, he's got, you know, you gotta give credit where credit's due. That victory from Punk deserves credit. I want to thank you all for watching this episode, and until the next one, keep on YouTubing.